The Sports Time Podcast.
Do you think Matt Ryan still has a few years left in him? Because I feel like a lot of people are kind of doubting Matt Ryan ever since he blew that huge lead. I still think he's a good quarterback. I just don't know how well he's going to do next year. How well do you think he'll perform, and do you think he still has some left in him?
You had to bring the Super Bowl up, didn't you? I think he has at least 3 solid years left in him in this offense. Okay, so there's offenses that he's not going to fit into. But Arthur Smith was number one. Tennessee Titans were number one team in the NFL last year in the play action. And if you go and look back at Matt Ryan's highlights and all the great years that he had, talk about the Super Bowl run with Kyle Shanahan, play action was why he was thriving so well. I think he does very good in that. He is not a quarterback that's going to go back and make something out of nothing. He's a guy that needs to read through his progressions and then pick the hole. So I think that in this offense, he'll do well with the style of offense that he runs. But at the end of the day, I mean, most quarterbacks in the NFL, unless you're Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson or something like that, you're only as good as your offensive line allows you to be. Or Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't have a great offensive line, but those are few and far between guys. And I think that our offensive line is going to take a leap this year. We had Caleb McGarry and Chris Lindstrom as our on the right side of the line. They were young rookie guys. Those guys are going to take a big step this year. And then we went out and got several offensive linemen in the draft. I mean, we could we're going to have a lot of battles in the line. So you're going to have your best players out there, but I think our offensive line is going to be better, and that's going to behoove and be good for Matt Ryan as well. So if the line holds up, if we can develop a solid line over the next couple of years, I can see him playing for 4 years, something like that at a high level. I mean, and as you watch the NFL today, these NFL or these quarterback careers are getting longer and longer. It's not like it used to be. They're protecting the hell out of them. I mean, nowadays you touch a quarterback and it's a 15-yard penalty automatically. So they're protecting these guys. He's a healthy dude. He's stayed healthy his entire career for the most part, other than when he first got into the league. So I could say 3 or 4 solid years left.
And I feel like a lot of people don't give him credit enough. And I think they kind of always want to go with Julio Jones makes Matt Ryan better. And I feel like they do well with each other. I think they balance each other out. And I don't know if Matt Ryan is still an elite quarterback, but I do think he's a great quarterback. And I think that a lot of people are underrating the former MVP.
And I'll add to that. To people that say that Julio makes Matt Ryan, ask Harry Douglas how his career went when he went to Tennessee Titans. Ask Mohamed Sanu how his career went when he went to the Patriots and had Cam Newton throwing to him. So, I'm always a little bit shocked when people say that, because Matt Ryan has made a lot of dudes look good. He got Austin Hooper that big signed contract. You know what I'm saying? And every offensive coordinator, it used to be the thing that if you were an offensive coordinator over Matt Ryan, your next coaching job was a head coaching job. Mike Mularkey, Dirk Cutter went and got one. Kyle Shanahan, all those dudes got head coaching jobs after coaching over Matt Ryan. So people that, I agree. I think they complement each other. But I think people are going to be a little bit shocked when Julio, most likely Julio goes somewhere. He's not about I don't think he's going to leave and have the best years he's ever. I don't think he's going to go somewhere and have 5 years straight of 1,600 yard, receiving yards. Is he going to go somewhere and be a huge contributor? Absolutely. I'm sure he's got 2 superstar seasons, maybe 3 left in him. But people that say that, only Matt Ryan or Julio has made Matt Ryan or vice versa, whatever you want to say, I can't run with that one.
Yeah, and I think they both get a bad rap, or at least Matt Ryan does, because he had that big blown lead in the Super Bowl. And I feel like if you take that out, I mean, he's a really good quarterback. I mean, he won an MVP. Not many quarterbacks can say they won a regular season MVP. Russell Wilson can't say that. So yeah, I just think that. Yeah,
it's a shadow. It's a shadow. When you do something, when you collapse like that, or you have that bad of a collapse. I mean, it's a shadow that's going to hang over your, and unless he goes and wins one, he'll probably get a gold jacket at the end of his career, and that cloud will still be over him. He'll still be known as the MVP, but the MVP that couldn't hold the lead. But I think defense is a big contributor to that. But we'll call it what it is.
Thanks for listening to the Sports Town Podcast, or the STP Pod for short. If you want to check out more videos of the Sports Town Podcast, click on the left. If you want to subscribe to the channel, click on the right.